As a human being, emotions are one of the most powerful tools and resources of creation that we process. This means that as a creature of our own emotions, because we are endowed with free will, at every moment we have the opportunity to choose how we think, feel, act, and react to the people, circumstances, and situations in our lives. So I began teaching this work. One of the core practices of my teaching has been to guide and enable people to self-regulate so that they can change their emotional state at will. That is, to practice being less of a victim to life and more of a creator in life. And why? When we become conscious of our choices, naturally we begin to gravitate towards making more loving ones, rather than choices that limit our ability to love. Of course, easier said than done. This is, after all, why it's called a practice. And central to mastering this practice is heart and brain coherence. Aristotle and the ancient Greek were famous for, among other things, deliberating the fourth cause. Essentially, this is the idea that everything in the universe must have arisen from something. Said another way, it means that every chain of cause must go back to an originating source. In the second millennium after Christ, the medieval theologian Saint Thomas Aquinas left his mark on history by picking up this mantle. While philosophers and theologians have debated this argument since the beginning of time, here at the start of the third millennium, where science has become the new language of mysticism, we can call this first cause source energy, or the unified field. At its core, this creative energy is pure love, oneness, or wholeness. It is from this point of singularity, from this field where everything material is connected, that we, each as individual consciousness, descended from and into the 3D reality of density and human physicality. Perhaps the most defining aspect of this physical reality is our senses, which are part plugged into us and allow us to experience this realm of matter. In fact, if you were to take away everything that you see, hear, smell, taste, or touch, you would have no experience of this 3D reality at all. When we descended from the source, pure love or singularity down to this 3D reality of density, we began to experience everything in this reality as separate because this is how we experience matter. At the slowest frequency we perceive with our senses, everything from object to people to places appear to be separate and local in space and time. Therefore, to experience this reality through our senses is to say, I am here and you are there. And in between us is an ocean of space, because the material world is experienced through our senses. It is the nature of our senses to fool us into this illusion of separation. When this happens, it becomes very easy to forget our origins or connection to source. oneness, wholeness, or pure love. When our senses become heightened by the stress hormones, separation, and all the belief that this is the only world or reality that exists, it's further ingrained into our belief system. The arousal of the stress hormone resulting from our perception of a potential danger, threat in our external environment, or anything that could harm our physical bodies, causes us to put our attention on everything material on this 3D reality, which consists of the body, all elements in the environment, and the forecasting of time based on our memory of the past. As a result, we narrow our focus on the material world. Since where we place our attention is where we place our energy, then all of our attention and energy is invested into this 3D reality. Thus, we have to play by the rules of matter, trying to change matter in the effort to create what we want, and that takes time. It makes sense then that the more we live by this self-limiting emotion, the more we buy into and entrench in the idea of duality and polarity, the more we live in lack and separation. That is good and bad, right and wrong, past and future, love and hate, male and female, and so on. The degree to which we buy into this duality consciousness is the degree to which we become victim of our emotions. The sponsoring belief behind this level of consciousness is the idea that things are happening to me rather than for me. The former relinquishes the power that we are actually the creator of our own reality. It is an idea that finds us living in a separation and duality. Thus, we find ourselves waiting for something in our outer world to take away the feeling of lack, incompleteness, or separation in our inner world. The latter assumes the position that each experience is an opportunity to learn, grow, and expand, and that from the knowledge gained from the experience, we have the power of wisdom to create a new reality. If we have the desire to create a new reality, we need to begin by ascending our energy away from separation towards wholeness and wholeness. This requires us to invest our energy in the unfilled field, to take our attention off matter and open our focus into that invisible field of energy. And that requires us to get beyond all of our association to everything known and material in this 3D reality. Akin to creating a new reality is a mastery of combining brain coherence with elevated heart center emotion in the name of this generative creative process. The more we practice this elevated emotion and create heart coherence, the more they become a way of being that inhabit of our body. As this feeling begins to seep into every cell of our being, we start to feel whole, and the field emitted from our heart makes us feel connected to something greater. Now we're living in less lack and separation, and this causes us to move out of duality and polarity and back into oneness and source. If pure love is where we descended from, then the more whole and connected we feel, the less lack, separation, and or what we experience because we feel like we already have what we are creating.